Margot Robbie is in love with Jacob Elordi.
Margot Robbie is currently going viral after she revealed that she basically fell in love with Jacob Elordi whilst they were filming their new movie, Wuthering Heights. Yeah, I am not kidding. She recently did an interview talking about Wuthering Heights and, her filming with Jacob Elordi, and she basically revealed that she became codependent with Jacob Elordi whilst they were filming on set. She stated that anytime she was on set, she would always try to find where Jacob was. If she could not find him, she actually stated that she would feel lost, like a kid without their blanket. She also revealed that during many times whilst they were filming the movie, she felt her legs start to shake and her knees would feel weak anytime she was around Jacob Elordi. So yeah, definitely very interesting, that is for sure, especially considering the fact that she is married, and I really wonder how her husband feels about her saying all these things about Jacob Elordi. She didn't flat out say that she fell in love with him, but I mean, all the things that she is saying, she's basically saying that she fell in love with him without saying that she fell in love with him. So interesting situation. Maybe it's just, a ploy to get people to watch the movie when it comes out, I believe, in February, but I'm curious to know your thoughts about all this.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I mean, she's married. A married woman saying she's dependent on a person that is not her husband. That is very bad. Like, the way she's expressing her feelings toward Jacob Elordi is very bad. She's a married woman. But maybe, who knows, the industry is working in mysterious ways, They wanna make us watch the movie or something else. That might be the case. They want us to watch the movie by making them say such kind of things about each other. Who knows? But if this is true, it's very bad.
But as more time goes on in this life, I start to realize that God truly gives his toughest battles to wives and husbands of actors and actresses. Because this specific image, has been making the rounds lately of Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. With this tweet making the rounds saying, "You think her husband's gonna watch this movie or not?" This is, of course, an image from their new movie coming out on Valentine's Day called Wuthering Heights, which to many is from the novel that is apparently one of the greatest romance stories ever told. But once again, I see images like this and images like this and say to myself, how does Margot Robbie's husband do it? They seem like they have a great relationship. They just had their first child, I believe. But man, you must have more confidence in me. Because as much as I trust my wife, love my wife, trust her to death, bro, images and moments like this would fuck with me. It would fuck with me. Not to mention it's fucking Jacob Elordi. Also, these comments I think would do me more harm than the images or the things that are actually happening in the movie. Margot saying, and I quote, "It almost made me weak at the knees." In a scene where Jacob Elordi's character picks up her character using only one arm and shields her face from the rain using another. Margot says as she lets out a dramatic sigh. Also, just yesterday saying she became codependent with Jacob while filming. Saying, "I found myself starting to look around to see where he was. I was really unnerved and unmoored, and I felt quite lost, like a kid without their blanket or something." I don't know how you do it. I get it. It's just acting. You're not supposed to look too deep into it, but they're better than me. You're better than me.
Man, imagine if she's your wife. Like, this makes us take note that we shall not marry an actress in the future. That's it. Because if she's acting in such kind of way, it's gonna mess up with your mind. That's very bad. And it's gonna end up in divorce. So, you shall not marry an actress. That's what I'm gonna say. You shall not marry with an actress. It's gonna end up bad for you. For your mental health, for your marriage. Imagine they have a kid. So, that's bad. Maybe these comments in online, like they are saying she said this, she said that, he said this, he said that. Maybe those things are lie, but like the scenes from the movie are very dramatic, so I think that's very bad.
I found myself starting to look around to see where he was. This is Margot Robbie on becoming codependent with Jacob Elordi while filming Wuthering Heights. He went on to say things like she became really unnerved and I felt quite lost, like a kid without their blanket or something. And I can assure you it doesn't get any better because Jacob Elordi says he and Margot Robbie formed a mutual obsession. A mutual obsession while filming their movie together. At this point, bro, who's gonna tell the husband that things are just looking tough right now? Listen, I understand it's probably part of the game for marketing, movies about to come out, all that. But then Margot Robbie said this before and yeah, it's making me think, is it more than just marketing? It almost made me weak at the knees, bro. What business do you have saying this? I like Margot Robbie, I'm not gonna lie, and I like Jacob Elordi. I think it's just funny to talk about. At the same time, bro, like, is it necessary?
Yeah, that's too much. I mean, if she's a married woman, that's too much. I mean, doesn't Jacob know if she's a married woman or something? Like, mutual obsession or something? That's too much. I mean, it might be for marketing, but the marketing goes so far. It has to respect some sort of boundaries like marriage, love life and stuff, relationship, like they have kid and stuff. If something happen like divorce or something, their kid is it's gonna be bad for the kid and stuff. I don't know. If it is marketing, I can say it went too far. Like I know marketing, like it, but it shall not transgress some lies, like marriage and stuff. This transgress it. So I think that's very bad.
Is it better to be single and wish you were married or married and wish you were single?
It is better to be single and wish you were married, because if you're single and you wish to be married, you will become married, and marriage is a good thing. But if you're married and wish you were single, then you have to have a divorce, and divorce feels bad. So it is better to be single and wish you were married than to be married and wish you were single.
When you looked at each other in character, what sort of things came up for you?
There was a few moments looking at each other in character, particularly on the moors, when we would be standing alone, sort of waiting for a scene or walking to a setup. Because on the moors we shot quite sporadically. Like there would be a great cliff over there, and then everyone would be like, right, let's go, we need to shoot there. The sun looks amazing. And then we'd all sprint over there, and there'd be a moment where we'd be running hand in hand through the moors. Maybe not even in the scene, just setting it up, where I'd look across at her and she'd be looking at me, and you really realised you were looking at Catherine and she was looking at Heathcliff, and in that moment we really were a part of their love, for real. Sitting and watching the sunset on the moors as the sort of spirit of their characters have for the last 200 years, and you can almost imagine that the spirit of this love that Bronte created is sort of floating around there, and it really did feel like we were catching little pieces of that unrequited love.
That looks way more than marketing for me personally. Something fishy is there. Like it's above the movie, it's above marketing, it's above other things. So that looks fishy. Anyways, that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Write down your comments. Till next time, peace and blessings. Goodbye.